Y'all want to know something? I've been trying to make this work for years now, and it just feels like no matter what I do, no matter what we do, gaming just keeps pushing us back. Every time I log in, it's the same cycle. Events on top of events, on top of more events, new battle pass, limited time items, and yet somehow it all feels the same. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind grinding. I'm not scared of putting in effort. But effort for what? Where are we actually going with any of this? It's like every game is just chasing trends. Live service this, microtransaction that, and we just accept it. Because that's all we're getting. Nobody's taking chances anymore. Nobody's telling stories anymore. The last shooter I played that actually had a good campaign was RoboCop. And to me, that's crazy. I played Doom Dark Ages. And yeah, it was good. But it's Doom, you know? All you really enjoy is killing demons. I still don't even know what the story was fully about because I couldn't finish it because it didn't even hook me enough. And then they removed glory kills. And then what's left? Just another story for another day because the story and the gameplay just weren't matching anymore. What happened to campaigns? To war stories? What happened to games that made you feel something? Games that gave you a memory? Not just level up or another cosmetic. Back in the day, I boot up my Xbox 360, load up Battlefield 4, and get lost for hours. And then, when Battlefield 1 dropped, those war stories hit different. Multiple perspectives, different nationalities, different vibes, real or fictional. They meant something. They were cinematic. They were impactful. And it felt like someone actually cared to put these stories together. Now, campaigns feels like an afterthought, short, forgettable, unfinished. They just want to push you into the endgame grind loop as fast as possible, just to upsell you a cosmetic or a skin pack. Lately, I've been going back to older games. The Division 2 still hits sometimes, but even there, it feels like I'm chasing a memory. Instead of enjoying what I'm actually playing. I reinstalled Anthem. Yeah, the game everybody gave up on. Because the campaign, it was short. And it grabbed no one's attention. But once you skip all that, once you get past the surface and really understand the mechanics, you get to experience the end game, and then you see it. You see where the game could have shined. Anthem could have been something. It was a challenge. It had the bones. But they fumble so bad with the story. And Anthem next, that was gonna fix so much, but only on the gameplay side. It would have solved the flying for hours with no enemies in sight. But EA pulled the plugs month before it was even finished. And I'm tired of that pattern. Games launch broken, studio make promises, players get hopeful, and then the layoffs hit, the projects get canceled, and nothing gets done. Heartland, gone. X-Defiant, barely a whisper nowadays. It was marketed as the COD killer. And now, it's gone. Dead. And don't even get me started on the Nemesis system. Something that could have made games feel more personal, alive. And it was locked behind a patent. Corporate greed, and then the studio got shut down. Now that mechanic, shelved, never to be used again. Just dormant, like everything else that was promised and then canceled. I'll be honest with you. One of the games I actually enjoyed this past year or two has been Skull and Bones. Not for the story, but because honestly, the ship combat, it was fun. It reminded me of Black Flag, just more stripped down. And you had different weapons. You had torpedoes, mortars, fire cannons. They added an ascension difficulty, what makes it even more grind to it. It feels like you're actually having to fight. It makes it feel like you are in a journey. But again, another game full of promises and not much else. It just has mechanics, but no soul. You know what surprises me is that Clear Obscure Expedition 33 is a turn-based game, and I am personally not into them. I've never played Pokemon because I've always seen it be a turn-based game. The closest I ever got to Pokemon was Power World, but the reason I played Power World was because it blew me away. It was different, it was engaging, and it didn't feel like a copy of anything. It had its own identity. But now, studios are laying off creative people left and right. For what? To save money? But they're not even making games better. So what are they saving the money for? The only game I'm really excited for in the future is GTA 6. And what I'm excited for this year is Delta Force releasing on console, so I can play the campaign with my friends who don't have a PC. Because that's all I want. Something grounded, something real. These days, it feels like the only games that are fun are the ones you can play with friends, not because the game is amazing on its own, but because there are shared experiences. For example, like Peak. You climb a mountain, that's it. But play it with friends, and it suddenly becomes the most hilarious game you ever played. You're yelling, you're slipping, and you're laughing with everyone. That's what makes it magical. Same with Split Fiction, same with Halo. Back in the day, I remember playing Halo on my friend's Xbox 360. Back then, I barely even played shooters. I had a Nintendo 64, and all I really played was Mario 64. But one day, I showed up to his house, we loaded up Halo, and he carried me through the campaign. But before we even made it past the first mission, we spent hours killing each other, killing grunts, and then killing the Marines so they could start shooting back at us, and we're trying to survive. Let's go, baby. It was chaos, and I was having the time of my life, even without even finishing the story. Because the reality is, a game can be really bad and really shitty, but if you have friends to play it with and you guys enjoy playing games, you guys can make it feel like it's the best thing in the world. But that's all these companies are trying to go for. They're not going for, can we make this story or this mechanic fun for everyone? No, it's try to make it to a shared experience so that way we don't have to put any work into it. Now, I don't even know what I'm trying to say anymore. Like, I'm tired of hoping. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of watching this industry eat itself alive. I used to get excited when I saw a new trailer. Now, I just roll my eyes and wonder if the game is going to get canceled. Gaming used to feel like magic, like stepping into a whole new world, making memories that would stick with you for the rest of your life. Now, it just feels like a storefront. I'm not giving up on it. Not yet. But I am losing my faith. I just hope it's not too late to fix this. I hope devs start making games because they want to, not because the publisher told them to. I know a lot of developers grow to love what they're making, but I also know that's not always the vision they started with. It's like when you draw something and you show it to your mom, you're excited, you're proud. But then she says, Why is the car that color? Why is the wheel that color? You should have made it white. And then you feel crushed. Like everything you put into just gets thrown away. Not because it was bad, but because someone else didn't like it because it was something they could not hang on the fridge. And that's what's happening to game devs. Their visions are being erased before anyone gets to see it. Game companies have forgotten how to make players happy. They even forgotten how to make their own staff happy. All they see is greed, and I hope that changes soon. I'm not trying to live in memories, but at this point, that's all I have. I miss when gaming made me feel something. And really, that's all I have to say. I'm just a gamer who wants games to make you feel something again. My name is Havoc Wreckage. If you feel the same, let me know. If you don't, tell me anyways. That's the whole point of us getting together to talk at this as a community, and hopefully there'll be a change one day, or maybe you could be that change in the future if you take that path and become the ladder in the corporate world. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and maybe one day I will see what you guys have come up with.